Raider Nation. Yes. We are back with a new series, the Chronicles of the Blackhole. I am here with both my brothers, Captain Jack. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Hey, I'm hanging out here on the West Coast for the first time and for a long time, and I'll get my body thrown over just in time to get my body thrown back over to the East Coast at the end of the week.
My boy is a trooper, man. He's out there in Cali. He's doing what he got to do to get this show. He's in a hotel, y'all, so bear with him. If a little stuff happens with the Wi-Fi, he's here. We're going to get through it. OG Daniel, what's up, brother?
Oh, man, living the good life, man. Just looking forward to talking about the old school stuff. All the old guys, if you're reminiscing, this is the place. If you're young guys and you want to learn about the old days and the fun stuff, this is the place to be.
I want all you guys to know real quick before we get the show rolling. This right here is OG Daniel's brainchild. We wanted to bring this to life, y'all, because we need to celebrate our history. A lot of guys here are really young, have never experienced the Super Bowl win, experienced those old great teams, have no idea where commitment to excellence or just win, baby, even came from or where it stems from. These guys have been there since day one rocking with this team, and they know this team in and out. So we wanted to have a series where we celebrate the history of our team and to put on some guys like me, like you guys in the chat gang, man. Let us know the rich history that we have within this franchise. And before we go forward, also, everybody subscribe to OG Daniel's new channel. It's on the bottom. It's on the bottom right here, y'all. The Chronicles of the Blackhole. Please stop what you're doing now. Go subscribe to that. And please subscribe to Captain Jack Rackham on YouTube as well. I'm going to be sharing their links in the chat throughout the night. This show is not about me. I'm just the moderator. My brothers are going to handle this. I'm just here to put some questions on the board and sit back and enjoy the ride. You feel me? So with that being said, OG, what are we talking about tonight, Daniel? What are we doing?
Well, tonight, first of all, before we get to that, this is about you because you're the one who inspired me to do this. Okay, the content you put out. You also told me you need your own channel. So this tonight is going to be a celebration of a Raiders legend. This is what we're going to be doing. Tonight's going to be about a man named the Twos, also known as Big John Matuzak, who was a nightmare to offensive linemen. The reason I say that is the average offensive lineman in the 1970s was 6'3", 255 pounds. Now, 50 years, obviously, offensive linemen got bigger. This man was 6'8", 280 pounds. He was an offensive lineman's bad day at the office, and he was a quarterback's absolute nightmare. And Captain Jack talked to me earlier about the reasons they brought these guys in, and I want him to go in and tell us about that.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Darren. OG. Whoa, turn down your volume on because I don't like to hear myself more than once, and hearing it again is like awesome. But no, I was talking with Daniel before about we were talking about John's size at 6'8" and like 280 or whatnot, and he was a devastating destruction for any of the people that were across from him. And I tell you, people in the Raider organization, and this is going back even beyond Matuzak, Al Davis drafted certain players because of who they had to face each week. For example, he drafted again an echo. He drafted Gene Upshaw, otherwise known as Eugene Upshaw, in order to handle the pass rush of the interior line of the of the Kansas City Chiefs. He drafted Gene Upshaw specifically to handle the defender across from him in Kansas City. He drafted Art Shell later on as well in order to handle the opposing players that were done. Okay. So when Matuzak came in the league, you have a guy who's a defensive end at 6'8" and 280, and again, just overpowering people on the opposite side. So That is why when we start seeing Matuzak, and then even earlier, or around the same time frame with Too Tall Jones on the Cowboys, these guys were so huge that the NFL scouts started saying, well, we need to get offensive linemen that are 6'8", that can handle business, because of Matuzak. It's because of Too Tall Jones. It's because of these lurches that were out there playing at defensive end and outside linebacker in a 3-4 that were terrorizing people. And that is why you have this influx of larger, stronger offensive tackles in order to handle these guys.
Like Ernie Ladd. Remember him?
Yes, exactly.
Ernie Ladd.
I love it, man. I'm already learning more right now. Keep it moving, OG.
Professional wrestling. But he played for who he played for? The Cowboys?
No, Ernie Ladd played for the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm putting you guys real quick, y'all. I'm putting the links in the chat right now. Subscribe to Captain Jack. Subscribe to OG Daniel's new YouTube channel. We're going to be doing this bi-weekly, y'all, and eventually we're going to tail off and put this on OG and Captain's channel. We want to just build this show up as much as possible and get our OGs as much looks as they can, because they both deserve it. With that being said, go back and do what y'all do, man.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's like Matuzak, and we're going to be talking about this as well. John Matuzak, and then for the third Super Bowl, because John actually was there for 2 Super Bowls, both Super Bowl 11 and Super Bowl 15. And one thing that you got to remember as well on the Raider defense is every time the Raiders have won a Super Bowl, they've won it in a 3-4 configuration. So hopefully when we win our next Super Bowl, because I don't see Gus Bradley changing over from a 4-3 to a 3-4. I want that to be the very first Super Bowl where the Raiders win in a 4-3 configuration. But Super Bowl 11, Super Bowl 15, and our last Super Bowl 18, the Raiders played a 3-4, and it was because of the stalwarts we had at defensive end, Matuzak for 11 and 15, and then Lyle Alzado for the last portion of Super Bowl 18, along with my boy Greg Townsend and a man in the other side. You know, they were just dominant on the end position. So it was because of the defense that we had. And we'll talk about our defensive people in Super Bowl 11 and Super Bowl 15 to ask, because I'll tell you what, great players, only a few in the Hall of Fame, unfortunately, but great players on that defense.
Hey, real quick, OG, in the chat, I want you guys to put down topics of old school Raiders football that you guys want to talk about for future shows, so I can take some notes down and we can get some stuff rocking. So in the chat, you guys, if there's a specific year that you want us to break down or whatever, put it in the chat so we can talk about it in future shows. Go ahead, OG.
Well, no, what I'd like to do is start off with talking about twos, okay? John Matuzak was the first pick in the 1973 draft. He was picked up by the Houston Oilers. Played for them for, part of a season, and then he went over to the WFL. That was a different league. Like they got all these leagues that keep trying to pop in. And the WFL, he played for what they called the Houston Texans. And they handed him a restraining order while he was playing, telling him, you can't play for 2 teams. So he went back to Houston, and they got rid of him, and they sent him over to the Chiefs. He obviously got cut from there, or was it the same year or the next year?
It was. I think the next year. I think he played for Kansas City for 2 years. And actually, when the Oilers traded him to the Chiefs, they traded him for Curly Culp.
Right, and a first-round pick.
Right. And I tell you what, that was a godsend for Houston, because with Curly Culp, Curly Culp and Elvin Bethea were the stalwarts of that great Houston defense that they had at that time. And if it wouldn't have been for Curly and Elvin Bethea, they wouldn't have been the dandies that they were in their time as well. So I tell you, Houston really got off on that trade, trading Matuzak for Curly Culp in a 1.
Right, and Buddy Ryan running that defense. Come on, man. That was the stuff.
Yeah.
And then he got cut after that and sent to the Washington football team. I'm Cherokee, so I'm not going to say the other name. And
but at the time, though, they were that R word that you're not going to say. At the time.
That's right. But then he was cut the same season, and the Raiders picked him up, and that's Al Davis had a reputation for taking recycled players and turning them into superstars, and this man was one of them. He took this giant nightmare, and he was played for the Raiders for 7 years?
Actually, yeah.
Yep. Won 2 Super Bowls with the Raiders, and then in '82 he ended up on IR a season, and he retired. He's like, I'm not going to be paid to be a cheerleader, and went and did his movie career stuff. But this guy was scary huge. And the offensive linemen at the time were looking at, I got to block this. And they're looking up at this tree coming at them. But you know more about the pro stats. I mean, we know the lineage, but you know more about his pro stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say you are technically correct. He played for the Raiders for 6 years. 1982, he was on IR, so that would have been his 7th. But from 1976 to 1981, he played with the Raiders, and 2 years with Kansas City. Actually, the first year in Kansas City, he only played not even a full year. He played 8 out of the 14 games.
Right.
He played the full season the following year in 75. Like I said, he played the full year in Houston in 73. But I tell you, when he was with the Raiders, man, he didn't quite play the full amount in 79. He played 12 out of the 16. But basically, every other year, he played the full amount of time in a Raiders uniform. And I tell you, he, like I said, dynamic defensive lineman, and we wouldn't have the teams that we would have without John Matuzak.
Oh, hey, let me ask you real quick, Captain. Right here it says College, Missouri, and Tampa. What?
Yeah, he was played for UT, and UT actually, because I'm from Tampa and whatnot. University of Tampa actually had a football team way back when. I think that they've actually started it recently again. But University of Tampa is actually famous for 2 very great pro players, Matuzak and Freddie Solomon, that played for the Dolphins. But yeah, when UT had their great football teams, and I'm saying UT is in University of Tampa, Matuzak and Freddie Solomon were the stalwarts of that organization.
So he retired. Go ahead, OG. Go ahead.
You touched on something. I just want to bring everybody up to date. I don't know. Some of these young guys might not know. Back then, it was a 14-game schedule.
Yes.
Yes.
There were only 28 teams in the NFL.
Right.
Okay. Expansion after that brought it up, and all these other new teams come on, like Tampa, Seattle, the Ravens. Ravens were the Browns who moved. But I mean, all these other teams came up in expansion. Tennessee, Jags, all these teams are expansion teams. Back then, those teams didn't exist. So we only had a 14-game schedule. Today, it's up to 17. I don't know if anybody's ever going to break the undefeated record that the Dolphins did in 1972.
Yeah.
And only because we didn't play them in the friggin' playoffs, okay? Only because of a certain play called the Immaculate Reception that we didn't play the Dolphins that year, because we would have beat them in 72. And when we did end up playing the Dolphins in 73, the very next year, when the Dolphins were on that winning streak, we knocked them off that winning streak. And I tell you, our team and their team were exactly the same. I know we would have kicked that butt in the playoffs, because Don Shula did not have a winning record against the Raiders in the playoffs.
The record, and the thing is, here's the thing: the rules at the time, the Immaculate Reception was BS. It was a dead ball foul. It was our puck of the 70s. It was a puck of the 70s. That game was over, and the referees called the cops in Pittsburgh and said, we're going to need reinforcements. And the Pittsburgh Police Department watching the game went, yeah, we ain't got nobody. Really?
Yeah.
That kind of dirty crap. That was the tuck rule. That's why I've always hated Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I hate the Patriots because that tuck rule thing, that's exactly what they did to us. We've gotten screwed a few times.
Hey,
yeah,
real quick.
and one thing, and I'll let you do there, Nate. The one thing is, if you ever see the highlights of that, when Franco is going into the end zone, he's being chased by Jack Tatum wearing 31, by the way, because that's what the number Jack wore before he went over to 32. You never saw the official raise his hands because the official never raised his hand for a touchdown until the officials went into what was the dugout of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they got on the phone. And they won't say who they got on the phone with, but basically they got on the phone with New York, and they said, "What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?" And that's when the official said to the folks that were doing security at Three Rivers Stadium, saying, "How many guys do you got here for us?" They said about 12 to 16, whatever. He goes, "That's all I need to know." The guy comes out of the dugout, reaches his hands up, a touchdown, because they knew they were going to get slaughtered if they would have called it the way it should have been called.
They called the Pittsburgh PD and asked them, do you have officers on standby? And they told them, nope. And they went, yeah okay, we're not going to, these guys are going to riot if we call this game the right way. And they
Real quick, shout out to everybody in the chat, man, with all the comments, all the donations. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, Dustin. Also, thank you, Jackie. As always, she says that's why I love watching games with my dad. He's an OG too. So I'm gonna come on. We would love to have him come on one of these episodes. We want to have as many of our OGs that grew up watching this team to come on here and give some knowledge. Also, fun fact, y'all, I didn't know this. John Matuzak played the sloth on the Goonies.
Yes.
Oh, he had many acting roles after he retired.
That is crazy. I did not know. That's one of my favorite movies. We actually, the Docks, right? This is what's so crazy. It's called the Docks because the Docks was a place called the Goondocks in the Goonies. It was called the Goondocks where they went to get that was like the place to get away from everything. Our group is called the Goondocks, so we shortened it to the Docks. So that's kind of cool, man. Fun fact. And that's crazy but John Matuzak played the sloth in Goonies. Crazy.
Well, yeah, he also played the movie North Dallas 40. He was in a movie called Caveman with Ringo Starr.
And actually, that's where Ringo Starr met Barbara Bach. Or sorry, I want to make sure. Barbara Bach, because Catherine Bach was Daisy on Dukes. But Barbara Bach, that's where Ringo Starr met Barbara Bach, was during the filming of Caveman. And, of course, Matuzak was the big hulking person in Caveman. But going back real quick to Goonies as well, if you see the movie, you actually see him wearing an Oakland Raiders T-shirt in the movie.
Yep. I remember that.
What's funny is he also had a ton of TV appearances. I mean, a ton of them. He was on an episode of MASH, Trapper John MD, Matt Houston, The Dukes of Hazzard, Silver Spoons, The Fall Guy. He was also on Benson. He was on the A-Team, Miami Vice. He did a lot of TV shows, and I saw his interview with Johnny Carson, and it was one of the David Letterman. It was hilarious. Like, the twos had a great sense of humor.
They said he openly did drugs and drank before games.
Yep. One of the things one of his quotes was, "I guarantee I've partied enough for 10 men."
Holy shit.
Hey,
Dick Vitale is in the comment section real quick. My bad, Captain. I'm sorry. Dick Vitale is in the comment section. Dick Vitale, leave me your email and come on in and join us, man.
Yeah, Dick, we want you to join us, man.
Yeah, for real.
I asked you about this last week. You said you would. Come on, man. Come join us. Give us your voice.
Go ahead, Cap.
Now I lost my train of thought. That would be an old guy who's like, it left. I'll get it.
I walk into this room. I'm sorry. My train of thought has no caboose. So,
okay, hold on. Man, he has an interesting story. Reading all this stuff on him, man.
Oh, I remember what it was now. I apologize. Okay. First off, and I'm going to give a plug that was never asked for. But if you are a fan of Raider Nation and you like all the stuff that we will be putting out, I'm telling you to go and find Al Davis, Behind the Raider Shield. It's a book written by John Kingdon and Bruce Kebrick, okay? And they have a fantastic whole chapter of when John first met John Matuzak, and because you were talking about the drinking and the party. And again, John doesn't even know about this, but I'm telling you, that book should be a Bible for anybody that is a member of Raider Nation. If you are not, do not have a copy of that book, Al Davis, Behind the Raider Shield, go on Amazon right now and get your ass over there and get it, okay? And John is a great friend of mine. Again, John doesn't even know that I was pushing that, but I'm telling you, fantastic book. And there's a whole, and later on, I will elicit some of that chapter of when John met John Matuzak for the first time as well. But make sure, you can't do it right now. Well, you can do it by pulling up another stream.
Here.
There you go. Al Davis, Behind the Raider Shield. Thank you there, Terrence.
Shout out to
Go
my brother,
get that book. Thank you there, Shipmate. Appreciate it.
Another book that you might want to look at is John Delson, Cruising with the Twos.
Yes.
You want to know more about John Matuzak? John Matuzak had a very deep, interesting life. He had a couple of siblings, brothers, who passed away when he was a kid, and he had a lot of guilt over that. They died of cystic fibrosis, and his sister had it also, but she survived. This is part of what drove him, and he had guilt of the survivor guilt. Why did I make it? Why did they die? John Matuzak was one of those guys who would go to children's hospitals and didn't even invite the media, didn't let nobody know he was going. He went there because he wanted to go there and spend time with the kids. He didn't push any kind of media agenda. That was just not who he was. Outside of the lines, he was a gentle giant. Inside the lines, he was a mother effing nightmare to an offense. And if you get a chance, look at his tape. You can see he's way oversized coming off the edge and just smacking quarterbacks down. He didn't try to hurt them. That was the other thing. He tackled them. He said one of the greatest releases is a clean tackle. That was one of his quotes, a good, clean tackle. He wasn't trying to injure anybody. He just wanted to put the guy on the ground, do his job, get back up there, and see you in 45 seconds. That was the kind of guy he was.
Get those questions in, chat gang. And also, thank you guys very much. I'm going over back and forth, looking at my bros' YouTube channels. Everyone's going to subscribe. And thank you guys very much for supporting my brothers, man. They deserve it. The work that they put in for the nation and the knowledge, the years of knowledge they have. Continue to support these guys, man.
Watch Raider says he has the book. It's awesome. And Dick Vitale said he sent it to your IG. I would love to bring him in.
I'm looking for him right now. I do not see it. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it, Vitale. I don't see you on there, brother.
Maybe he went to your My Fans page.
Hey, he said, I just want OG real quick to say, Graphk, I am your father one time.
Graphk. Graphk, I am your father. Hey, you know what's funny? The captain has a different saying he likes to say on his show.
Yeah,
and Peter, Ricky.
he sounds just like the manager from Major League. Said, "Throw the hitter, Ricky." But he does that better than I do.
Is that your contract, Dorn? Let me see it. He drops it on the ground, pissed on it.
Hey, let me ask you guys this real quick. Who was John Matuzak's co-star? I know a lot of people don't really know. We had some mean defenses, probably more than one. But who was his guy?
Man.
Who was his guy?
He played along with Lyle Alzado in '81 and Howie Long. No, No.
Well, I was going to say during the Super Bowl, and they were playing again the 3-4. And by the way, if you look at it in Wikipedia, they are so screwed up. Wikipedia says that Phil Villapiano played right defensive end. I'm just letting you know it was a 3-4.
Oh, that's not. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay. The Raiders 3-4 consisted of Matuzak, Dave Rowe was at the nose, and Otis Sistrunk was over there at the other end.
Sistrunk was a freak.
Yeah,
right. And then at linebackers, they had Phil Villapiano at one of the outsides. Yeah, of course, the Stork Ted at the other one. Monty Johnson and Willie Hall, old number 39, was their the four linebackers. And of course, at their backfield, you had obviously the greatest foursome that as far as the backfield for Raiders, Skip Thomas and Willie Brown at the corners, and Atkinson and Tatum at the safeties. That was the defensive package for Super Bowl 11. Now, for Super Bowl 15 against the Eagles, Dave Rowe was replaced by Reggie Kinlaw. Sistrunk was replaced by Dave Browning, but Matuzak was there at the end. The linebackers, Ted was still there at linebacker, but and all the other linebackers had been changed. Millen and Nelson were in the middle, and Rod Martin, who should have been the defensive MVP because of the 3 interceptions that he has, which is, by the way, still a record, 3 picks in a Super Bowl, and he wasn't the MVP. Plunkett was, but that was the 4 linebackers for the defensive construction in Super Bowl 15. The cornerbacks for there, we had Hayes at one cornerback, and a veteran in Dwayne Osteen, who had come over from, I believe, the Jets, was at the other corner. Mike Davis recently passed, may he rest in peace, was at one of the safeties, and Burgess Owens, who's actually in Congress right now. I think he's representative. Burgess Owens, I'll get it out, played the other safety. That was the construct of the defense for Super Bowl 15 against the Eagles.
This dude was 6'8", man. 6'8", 280 pounds coming out of college. That's crazy.
This guy was teased in high school, bullied, because he was long and skinny. And then he started putting on the weight. They stopped bullying him. He started bullying on the field.
He looked like me a couple of years ago. I'll just say, at his when he was the best he did is what I used to look like when I was bouncing. Just not quite as tall.
Yeah. See, when I was in high school, I was short and skinny. I was 4'10", 105 pounds when I went to high school. When I got out, I was 5'8" and 135. When I went in the military, they put me on waivers, and I grew in boot camp. I had to get 2 new issues of uniforms. When I come out of boot camp, I was 6'2", 235, and would knock your lights out, all muscled up. And after navigation school, I beat up to 255 because I got into weightlifting. And dude, I got bullied in high school. When I went home on leave, they didn't try to bully me again.
Everybody's saying future show, man. Jack Tatum. We got to talk about the assassin. Got to talk about Skip Thomas, Dr. Death. Everybody's putting it out there. Soul Patrol, show topic. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about some things, man. We got to talk about, there's so much rich history within this franchise, man. It's crazy, man. But
there's a bunch of guys on my mental list of who we're going to talk about next. Because tonight we started with this guy because it's sad. In 1989, at the age of 38 years old, he overdosed on Darvocet and cocaine. And that was way too young.
Yeah. I'm 38 right now.
I remember watching the news and seeing this, and I crumbled, like I was on the floor crying, like this hurt.
Yeah.
To lose a great Raider to old age is one thing, but to lose a young Raider to something like this, just painful.
Yeah.
Painful.
Sure. That's crazy. I mean, to think about it, I said I'm 38, but I'm actually 37. But I'll be 38 in January, man. To think about that, that's crazy. He died very, very young, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. To an enlarged heart.
Yep.
Well, Deadly, I'm looking at the comment there. I'm still learning the Raider history. Well, first off, you're at the right channel, and you're with the right people between myself and OG. And if you want to talk about Raider stuff, if you're not coming over to my channel talking, then shame on you as well, because you got Graphk for everything else, and I will talk your ass off as well. So you're at the right place at the right time. And then you got OG Daniel starting his channel, so you got a wealth of knowledge right here. Please use us and please subscribe to all of our channels.
It's a perfect segue right now. I literally just put Cap YouTube in the comment section. Go subscribe. And I'm about to put Daniel's once again. I put them in there all through. They've been on about 3 or 4 separate times. You guys go subscribe to these guys, man. The years of knowledge, man, it's just unmatched, man. We need more of this, man. We need more of this.
Well, between me and the captain, we got 112 years of knowledge. And, if you come over to my channel, yeah, I'm going to give you historian stuff. I will talk about new stuff occasionally. Okay. There's just no new stuff to talk about from June to mid-July.
There we go. Let me get some comments in the comment section real quick before we go on. Please let me be a Bible of Raiders history. Bless me. Respect to the past, Willie Wayne, but we need a new Super Bowl victory. That is facts.
We'll get there. The glory days are coming again.
Yes,
I believe it. I can see it. I see it like I saw it in the old days.
Awesome show, guys. Thank you, Humble. Jonathan says silver and black. We back. We don't die. We multiply. 38 then is completely different than 38 now, bro. It is. Real talk. Like it really is. Back then, man, shit was a lot different. Cool Kev said, I just subscribed to both. Appreciate you, Kev, my brother, man. Let me see. Oh, Doc's January, what? January 15th. Jackie, that's my B-Day. Martin Luther King. Let me see. We got a lot, man. He had a couple. High Five Freddy said he had a couple of years left. Yeah, he only played 9 years, right? You only played 9 years.
I believe so. I do have
through 82. Yep.
Yeah, not yet. 9 years, 9 playoff games, 6 with the Raiders. Technically 7 because he was on IR, but he did play in 82. 6 with Oakland, 2 in Kansas City, and 1 for Houston.
Doc, you said your birthday's on MLK.
Yes, sir.
My birthday's on a holiday too.
But that's what's up. Well, we need to celebrate.
April 1st. I'm not kidding. That's no joke, man.
Holy shit.
My birthday's on April Fool's.
Hey, no wonder OG be flaming people in the comment section, man. You be killing them, bruh. That's the April 1st humor. Let me see, Daryl Russell.
Hey, April Fool's is not a good day to have a birthday. Your whole life, everybody's playing practical jokes on you. You don't get any good gifts. You get shit where the bicycle wheels fall off or candles that don't blow out. You want to you're sitting there going, it's a good thing they had a carving knife at the table. Family members are going down.
Actually, I wanted to get the one comment that I saw fly by Watts, and he talked about Daryl Russell. Yeah. And I actually have a football signed by Daryl Russell signed to me because my mother was fortunate enough to go to his father's retirement ceremony. Daryl Russell's father was a captain in the United States Navy, and he retired in Tampa. And my mom worked at the personnel office for the Navy personnel department in Tampa when she was there. And she played a little bit of a devil for me. She goes, "Yeah, there was some guy that retired today, and his son plays for the Raiders." And I'm like, What do you mean his son plays? Like, did you get any? She's like, "No, I didn't get anything. I forgot. I didn't really think it was that important." And then later on at Christmas, she gives me because they have little booklets when a gentleman retires, and it was for Daryl's father, the Navy captain, and then like I said, the football was inscribed to not to me, to my first name, Daryl Russell, and I still have that football in my. You guys have seen my room. The Raider Museum over there in Tampa. And again, there's way too many Raiders that died young. Daryl Russell one, Matuzak, even Alzado, Stacy Turan, Dave Dalby, plenty of Raiders that died way too young, and it's a shame. We can make an all-pro team of the amount of players that died young that shouldn't have died when they did.
True. You got to step for 2 minutes. Old man bladder. See you in a minute.
Let me ask you real quick, Cap. What's your favorite moment? Of watching John Matuzak? Like, what was your favorite moment of him?
Wow, that would probably be. I remember both him and I'm hoping I'm not screwing it up, but I remember both him and Ted Hendricks just terrorizing the Chicago quarterback in what was probably the greatest non-playoff game played during that time. You had and like I said, I'm hoping I'm not screwing it up, because I remember Ted for sure going over, and I think it was Bob Avellini was playing quarterback for the Bears at the time, and you see, Ted just going over the top of him. But that defense just terrorizing the Raiders, and I might have screwed that up, because again, I remember Ted doing it as well. There was so many just so many times that you would just see Matuzak just going over the top of somebody and tearing everybody's head off, almost literally. And you kind of forget what year it was, what the game was. It's just that you knew that when you saw Matuzak after them, it was just going to be dynamic. And again, it's like these players, and you have to give credit as well to the players that were there that didn't get a lot of pub. Like, for example, when John was there, you had Otis Sistrunk in there and Dave Rowe on that defensive line. When Alzado was there, he had Howie Long, but Greg Townsend was playing at defensive end, and Greg Townsend holds the record for most sacks for anybody on the Raiders. So you got to remember all of these guys that they played against, the guys that had all of the pub. You were talking about Alzado, you're talking about Matuzak, you're talking about Howie Long, but don't forget the other guys that played with them, because their defense wouldn't be as dynamic if it wasn't for the guys that didn't get the pub. I mean, Greg Townsend gets no pub. Bill Pickell gets no pub. But as a unit, these guys played fantastic together, and that is what we need to. And I'm going to throw it into the future now, throw it into the present, really. That is what we need to have on a dynamic defense now. You need a Gus Bradley to take the players that we have together and gel them, okay? Not let them have an encyclopedia where they have to have a computer and a pad to figure out where the hell they are on the field, that they're going to read, react, and play defense, because that's the way Bradley plays that defense. We need to have the defense of today resemble the defenses of old, where all you do is react, play defense, and go kill the motherfucking quarterback.
Yeah.
We had one guy on defense who was an old school Raider, and Vontez is gone. And if Vontez came back, he'd play one play and probably be kicked out for the rest of his career. That's how the old Raiders played.
I think the closest we have now is Abram. I think that's the closest to an old school Raider that we have. He just has to get it, he just has to put it all together. And let me ask you real quick, OG, the same question. What is your favorite moment from John Matuzak?
Wow. Jeez.
It's a lot of them, huh?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I'm going to say, first of all, he had targeted running all over the damn field in Super Bowl 11 running. He was pressure. And the problem is, I can't remember if there were sacks because they didn't keep records of that at the time. But he had Tarkenton knew, if this man got his hands on me, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And he was running all over the place. They were supposed to kill us.
Mhm.
We were the underdogs, and we smoked their asses. And I honestly believe it's because, one, their head coach kept saying, we're going to the Super Bowl. He never said we're going to win the Super Bowl. And I think the other reason is Tarkenton was scared for his damn life.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this real quick. Modern football, the modern era, what player would you look at and say reminded you the most of a John Matuzak? I'm not saying, like the exact game, similarities.
Not a modern Raider, just a modern player.
Modern player.
Reggie White, Bruce Smith.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, I would also say the kid that played for, and I'm sorry I'm saying I'm brain farting his name. He's in the Hall of Fame. Played college ball for Virginia Tech and the Buffalo Bills. That player,
Bruce Smith, right?
Bruce
Smith.
Bruce Smith.
Yeah.
Bruce Smith. I was brain farting his name, and I met him, by the way. Bruce Smith is I met him personally. Yeah. Really, really cool guy as well. But Bruce Smith reminded me of the way that he would just Reggie White and Bruce Smith together terrorizing everybody that was over them. And, you just didn't have a chance with them.
And that's crazy because the way you guys broke John Matuzak down to us younger guys, I grew up on Bruce Smith and Reggie White. And what you guys said was perfect because you said this guy would literally hunt motherfuckers, but he did it in a classy way. Reggie White and Bruce Smith
didn't try to hurt people.
Yeah, they were the two of the classiest guys that you will ever see on and off the field. They wanted to just get the job done and get the victory. And that's crazy that it came back full circle, as you guys saying, those two guys.
Right. And that's who he reminds me of. He was like the 1970s version of those guys. So here's my thing. I want the audience more involved here. All the commenters. Where's Dick Vitale? Come on, man. Give us the email, bro.
Yeah, I was waiting on him to send me, but I didn't get anything. Let me look again. You still have nothing.
Oh, he done went MIA on us.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Oh. Okay, now Dick Vitale said he has to work at 4 a.m.
Well, we'll do it another time, Dick.
Yeah.
We'll catch you later.
Yeah. Next time we'll get him on at the beginning of the show, and we'll have it planned ahead of time.
Right. Maybe we could go earlier. I don't know.
Couple questions. Do you guys think that our defense would have ever been this bad if Al Davis was alive? I personally do not. The defense was Al's baby. Now, Steven, thank you for the donation, brother. But I think that we had a lot of bad defenses even under Al. I mean, especially at the end. I mean, we had some pretty terrible defenses, and I think that the offense was more of his baby than anything.
No, actually, Graphk, you're wrong there. Al Davis was he made sure that he was always on the phone. It wasn't because of the offense. He knew offense, but the defense, he kept those defenders under thumb. And I agree with that one thing that we had some bad defenses under Al, but I tell you what, we wouldn't have had Paul Gunther for as long as we did if Al Davis was alive.
Yeah.
No, he would have fired his butt after 2 years.
Yeah. I think in his last years, he was always, and why I say he prioritized offense over defense was he was always looking for that next offensive guy. It seemed like every draft he was going for the Jacoby Fords. He was going for these. Don't get me wrong, there was some Michael Huffs in there. But he was going for
all that.
Yeah, man. It was going for speedy wide receivers, the Darren McFadden's of the world, which we needed a running back at the time. And if he would have been healthy, we would have had a steal. But I think that at the end, I don't think that defense was really that much priority. Cap, like I don't, because the defenses were really, really bad. But it was difficult to get anybody to want to be a Raider at the end anyway. I mean,
okay, but let's be real. Al Davis, great mind in sports, did a lot of amazing things. Responsible for the merge of the AFL and the NFL. Okay. But in the later years, I'm sorry, the game passed him by. He made a lot of bad decisions. His last number one pick when he died was his decision, and how'd that go?
Yeah.
He was always looking for the next cliff branch. He was always looking for that next cliff branch. Speed kills. That's out. Throw the bomb.
Joey Boy said, imagine being in a dark alley with Captain Jack and OG after a loss.
Especially with me dressed up in game gear, with my pirate garb on. You wouldn't survive, you bastards!
Me beating you with my cane because I'm bent over because of my bad back. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, real quick. So we're gonna be doing this bi-weekly, y'all. Every other Tuesday.
Bi-monthly.
Oh, okay. Bi-monthly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bi-monthly.
Yeah, twice a month.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bi-monthly.
Yeah.
My apologies. Yeah, don't hold me to that. Thank you, guys. I'm the one, going senile over here and shit. I'm not knowing what the fuck is going on. But bi-monthly, we're gonna do this. I think Jack Tatum should be the next one, y'all. What do y'all think? I think by a large margin, everybody was saying Jack Tatum.
I can do the assassin.
There we go. We got to break down the assassin in 2 weeks. I'm going to do my homework as well. And maybe I can try to implement somehow, some way, some film or something. I don't know. Maybe I can screen share and maybe do something to show guys how devastating Jack Tatum was, because this guy was a fucking monster.
Vontez, perfect kind of guy.
Yeah.
Well,
I just want to bring up a comment I saw earlier. Jamie said, I grew up in the area I started in Jay Schrader. Back when Jay Schrader was our quarterback, I'm going to tell you a little joke. We used to have a joke back then. How many blondes does it take to fuck the Raiders? One, Jay Schrader. He was the interception king. He sucked. I hated that guy. Oh my God.
I remember I had a big ass poster of him that said Black Sunday, and I had it on my wall as a kid. And I used to look at that shit and want to throw darts at it. I fucking hated Jay Schrader. Like, I was like, oh my God, man.
He sucked. He was dating Al Davis's daughter, too. The reason he kept him on a damn team.
There we go. Shit, man. That's crazy. Let me see. DHB. Yeah, DHB was a man. I loved Darius Hayward-Bay coming out of Maryland, but he was a fucking bust. He should have never been there that early. I've never been drafted.
Darius Hayward-Bay had T-Rex arms. He was afraid to get hit.
Hey, what do y'all think about this real quick? Shout out to High Five Freddie. Right here, Fierce says Henry Ruggs equals Cliff Branch. Cliff Branch is back.
Let us hope.
I believe
Cliff Branch couldn't catch. Henry Ruggs can catch. He just needs more targets.
There we go.
And like I said this the other night, Cliff Branch, and I actually, if you guys saw my show, I think I said this on Sunday. At Cliff Branch, his first 2 years out of the University of Colorado, he could run, but he couldn't catch the damn ball. It took him about 2 years for him to become as great as he was. And that's why, and it was because they were talking about Henry Ruggs this, Henry Ruggs that. And I deliberately said Cliff Branch took 2 years to develop. Okay, so give Ruggs this year, and actually I think it's going to happen this year anyway. But if not this year, it's going to be next year when both Ruggs as well as Edwards, who is an awesome player. Yes. I saw Edwards when he played at South Carolina.
Me too.
High points the ball. Terrell Owens like Vernon Davis
50-50 ball guy.
And he will, and that's who Derek Carr likes to throw to. He likes to throw to guys like James Jones. He liked to throw to Cook when he was our tight end. Guys that are tall and lean and will go up and get the ball. And Edwards is going to be that guy.
So I think the thing that people tend to forget is Branch had, I think, like 300 receiving yards his rookie year. Henry Ruggs technically had a better rookie year than him. I mean, so at the end of the day,
in less games.
Yes.
In less games.
So give the guy a chance, man. He wasn't healthy. It was a COVID year. I think that he does break out this year. I think he breaks out this year. And he's
not going to take 2 years. No way.
Hey, Derek Carr is already shouting him out like crazy. So I love it.
I want you to do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Not you, but I want the audience to do me a favor. Go to subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Jack's channel, Captain Jack. But I want you to, this is more important though. Do yourself a favor. Go just pull up John Matuzak highlights. Guys, this is going to make you go, whoa, we had that? Is that what these old guys are talking about?
Yeah.
Please do yourself that favor and go look up his highlights. You will lose your mind saying, wow, these guys were scary.
I like it. I like it. Real quick, let me get a couple more in. Pern says, what player, past or present, would have been a perfect Raider?
I'll give you one straight off the top, and it's one that very few. I have two jerseys, football jerseys that are not Raiders, and I bought them. And one of them, it was the kid that played out of Florida and played for the Eagles. I can't remember his name. It's my Eagles jersey.
Asante Samuel?
No. He played at University of Florida. He was a Curse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Curse jersey as an Eagle because he was a Gator, and I liked him as a Gator, and I bought the jersey on the discount rack. The other one is a gentleman who's going into the Hall of Fame this year, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't he? Isn't old boy from the Lions, Megatron, going into the Hall of Fame this year?
Sue should have been a Raider too.
Yeah, I in fact, I was just watching the Monday Night Football game. I was on the NFL Network channel. That was like a Raider type of show because it was a show that Kenyon Drake picked as the show that he was going to be on. You saw Gruden on the Monday Night cast and said, well, it might as well be like a Raider thing to watch while we're on here as well. But again, Megatron, and again, the fact that we didn't pick up Megatron and we picked up Jabustus Russell, it is a tragedy.
You know who else I think should have been a Raider? He was technically, but he should have been earlier. Marshawn Lynch. I think Lynch should have been one earlier. If we could have got the beast mode of the old early on, that would have been a perfect Raider, man, because he's from Oakland. He has that Raider mentality. I think Marshawn would have been a great Raider playing earlier on in his career.
Well, they actually told Buffalo, they said, if you're ever thinking about getting, because people don't remember that Marshawn Lynch played for the Bills, his very first team. And he hated They told Buffalo, they said, hey, if you're ever looking to get rid of Lynch, give us first dibs because we want him. And they sent him to friggin' Seattle first because Marshawn should have been in Oakland well before he was in with the Seattle Seahawks.
That is Buffalo. True. He said, I remember him saying his rookie season, all they have is a Dave and Buster's in Buffalo. That was it. He was pissed. He was like, I don't want to be here. It snows all year long. He was like, I want to go home. So, yeah, I think Marshawn would have been a great Raider. Very true. If we could have had Lynch, I wanted beast mode, prime beast mode. Yes, sir. Everybody in the comment section agreeing with us. Yo, Graphk, what's Jack and OGs? I put the links inside the comment section, Jerry. But go to Captain Jack Rackham on YouTube and the Chronicles of the Blackhole, and you'll see OG Daniel on there. It's a Raider thumbnail, but you'll see his face in his first video that he just posted earlier. I see that OG just got 30 new subscribers, man. Shout out to the chat, man. I love it. I love that you guys always show up for your own. I can't see how many Captain got because he's hiding his fucking subscribers, but I was trying to see because I wanted to see where my big bro went with it, but I respect it.
And OG will have one more subscriber when he gets off because I will subscribe to his channel as well. There's a reason why I hide my subscribers there, Graphk. It's because it's something that I will share with you and just you.
No worries, brother. No, I know a lot of people that do, so no worries at all.
So let's talk about Raiders, old and new, who should have been always Raiders, or guys who should have been Raiders. What you had brought up earlier.
Okay.
Steve Wisniewski should have been a Raider years before.
Wasn't he? Wait, hold on. How many years?
He was a Raider, but he should have been a Raider a few years before that.
Got you.
Okay. My old school guy who should have been a Raider was Jack Lambert.
Thank you. I was just going to say that. The only person that was at Ricky's Sports Bar, and I used to go when I would go into Ricky's, and right next to the restrooms, they had a huge poster of Jack Lambert. And I went over to him. I said, What is that doing here? He goes, dude, that man should have been a Raider. And that is why I respect him enough to have him a poster at the. I said, I agree. Jack Lambert as a Raider would have been, kismet, karma, all those things as well.
But for you young guys, let me explain who Jack Lambert was. He wasn't big. He was missing a bunch of teeth. He would go up and down the line like, He was a Pittsburgh Steeler and would scare the shit out of quarterbacks, and then he'd get them. He was not big. He was only 159 pounds, but he'd knock you on your ass. And he tried to kill you. He was like this angry hockey player who used his face for a weapon, come on. Safety. Used his body as a weapon, cut his pinky off.
Ronnie Lott.
He was Ronnie Lott of the 1970s, and people were terrified of this man. I was like, that guy should have been a Raider.
Shout out, just what Cap said too. Shout out to Ricky's, man. R.I.P. to that Raider bar. That is the best Raider bar I've ever seen in my life. For those who never got to experience Ricky's, that was one of the greatest places on earth. Oh my God, man! Right off Marina, right, Exeter 2 away from the Coliseum. Damn, man, I miss it. I remember when John Gruden had his own little parking spot. Like Ricky's was that spot, man. Ricky's was a great place. So, man, damn, man, I wish everybody could experience Ricky's once and Oakland Coliseum at least once, man. For real, too much. This is literally the best franchise in sports history, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, this just nothing matches up with what we have within this culture at all. It's just truly unmatched. It really is.
Bars. Let's talk about bars. Elzado had a bar in West Hollywood, California. I met him there, and it was like Lyle Elzado was like all that in a bag of chips to me. He was like my greatest favorite Raider ever.
Got the jersey on.
But I've also been to Bo Jackson's in Compton.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this was back when gang activity was high.
Yeah.
I took my daughter there. She was just a little tater tot. But on Sunday afternoon, if you're wearing silver and black, you don't worry.
Yeah.
You did not worry in Compton. On Sunday afternoon, you wearing silver and black, you can go anywhere you want. You were safe. You were protected. And I went to Bo Jackson's in Compton. There was a bar in Syracuse, New York, I used to go to. It was a football bar. This bar had a room for each team. You went into the Raiders room. There were no chairs.
Yeah.
Everyone else had chairs and tables. There were no chairs. Raiders fans did not sit down for the game. They had a few tables around the outside to set your beer down if you needed to, or some food, but you stood. And I can't remember the name of that place. I mean, going to Raiders bars, oh, man. Back in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, I've obviously spent some time at a lot of bars, just saying.
I like one, too, because I know that one more in the chat, we were talking about players that should have been Raiders, and I agree, man. I'm sorry, y'all. Dan Marino should have been a Raider. Like he should have been a Raider. There's no way that we should have drafted him that year. Who do we get? We got Mose. We got who do we get? Mosbar?
Well, if you're going back to that draft,
John Elway.
John Elway was a Raider.
Yeah.
And Pete, can I say it? Pete fucking Rozelle.
Yeah.
Fuck the Raiders, because the Raiders gave the Colts a better draft pick and a better person in a trade. Yeah. And Pete Rozelle nixed the trade because John Elway was going to be a Raider. He was from Stanford. Al Davis wanted him, and he nixed the fucking trade, which is why I can't fucking stand Pete Rozelle or Paul Tagliabue.
Yeah, but remember, Al Davis just beat his ass in a freaking
I understand that, but that is why when we talk about somebody that was destined to be a Raider, the Broncos wouldn't have any friggin' Super Bowl wins if that would have happened. Okay?
Well, Peyton.
But would Peyton have gone there?
No.
Because John Elway was one of the reasons why Peyton went there. You wouldn't have any friggin' Super Bowls.
First of all, John Elway was the one that signed Peyton Manning. so there would have been no – right. And we would have been at least 5 – we would at least have 5 rings. At least.
At least.
Okay, so no, the refs would have got us. Elway or Peyton Manning. Let's talk about that. I think that's the only Bronco I never hated.
Who?
Because Peyton Manning, because
I don't consider him a Bronco.
His Saturday Night Live appearance, you can't help but like this guy. He's funnier than hell. But he's the only Bronco I didn't hate.
Yeah.
I can't stand Peyton Manning because he went to UT and I'm a Gator, so fuck Peyton Manning.
Talk that shit, Cap. Let's go.
Fuck Peyton Manning.
Watch a Saturday Night Live's United Way commercial. It's funnier than hell, man.
We were cheated against the Ravens around 2000. Yes, Team Raider, you were right. Watts says Elway bitched about going to the Colts.
And that's why we were making the trade for him.
Yeah.
That's why we were making the trade for him.
I cannot believe that, bro. We could have really had John Elway. Ah, my God. And hey, real quick, man. One more time, y'all. Everybody go subscribe to Captain Jack Rackham. Go subscribe to OG Daniel. The Chronicles of the Blackhole is the new page on YouTube that OG has. And we all know Caps. Both of the links are in the comment section. Y'all make sure to go subscribe to our brothers. Share their links. Go over there on their lives and support them. Don't support our brothers only when they're here. Support them when they're not. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this is a community where we're all together. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks. I've never looked at anybody as competition within this thing. We're all family. And I want everybody to get the best looks they can possible, man. So if you guys can, please subscribe to both my guys. And in 2 weeks, we are going to do the Jack Tatum. We agree, right? We're good with that?
Jack the Assassin.
Okay, the Assassin 1 and 2.
And realistically, we're not competition because of the fact that we're doing historian stuff. We're like the History Channel of the Raiders is what we're trying to do.
There we
go. We're talking about old school stuff. Now, yeah, I might get on and expand later and get into some like, hey man, what's happening today? And once we know what's happening today, other than just little side stories popping out, because this is the dead month.
Yeah, no, for
That'll
sure.
change in a month.
Cat, any last words before I let you go? I know you're back home with your family, man. I want you to have a good time out there in Cali. Any last words, man, before we get out of here?
I'm just saying thanks again I want to thank OG for having me with him. I want to thank you for being the brainchild of this. And that's why I said I enjoy doing this. I'm on every Tuesday, either with OG on one channel or I have a show with Captain and Wenches. That's on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. I'm on every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. And every Thursday, except for this Thursday, so I'm flying back on Thursday, and I'm going to be too fucking tired to do anything when I get off the plane. So hit me up Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And in the season, I'll pick up a Wednesday show with Violator on another gentleman's channel. And you should support that channel as well. It's NFL Nation Live with Ref Guru, myself, and Violator. And Homer comes in and pops in on the show as well. That's going to be on Wednesday nights during the season. And Fridays, I'll be doing the Elite Superfan show where it'll be a bunch of, and again, hate the term, but we go by it. Super fans from around the NFL will be talking football. We will talk last week, this week, and we will have guests that are super fans of a game that we will pick during the week. So come join us on that, and it's a great time. Again, if you're not watching OG, let me see. To point the finger. No, I pointed at it. Okay, there. If you're not watching OG, and if you're not watching that dude, Graphk Raider. See, I keep forgetting I got to be opposite of what the camera said. Come on over and watch me, watch us all, and we will school you in a wonderful way. And like I said, we like the participation. We like you in the comments, and I'll have you call in, and I'll have you be on screen as well, so you can do that as well. 3 ways to contribute. Now,
real quick, OG Daniel, I know you are OG, but you are looking like Joe Budden's dad right now. Do you know who Joe Budden is?
No.
You look like Joe Budden. You would be Joe Budden's daddy. You have any last words, OG?
Yes, I would like to sincerely thank you for talking me into this. I'm grateful that you supported me to launch this channel. I'm grateful to Captain Jack because he's going to help me and be my constant training wheels on this, because we're going to do this show. I'm going to add more shows. Right now I'm learning what's going on and figuring it all out.
We'll talk more behind the scenes about it too. I'm
grateful to you guys, and I'm grateful to all the people who joined the channel. And I promise you, I will try not to let you down with the content. I'm going to be doing more stuff. Just give me a minute to figure out this part, and then I'll advance as I grow. Like this, and I promise I'll get a better camera later, so I don't have this trash camera. Makes me look like I'm sitting in a smoke-filled room.
Let me tell you something real quick, OG. You are a natural, man. Don't try, just be you, and people are going to watch and they're going to enjoy, man. I promise you that.
I just want to give them the information of the old days, and I want to share that history, that rich, beautiful history we have.
Hey, but just because we do this does not mean that I don't want you guys occasionally on my show talking about the new shit too.
So, I come on your show anyway, man.
I know. But Cap, don't hesitate to send me a link and say, come over here, man, and I will come over here as well.
And like I said, if I'm not doing anything, like I said, the other day when I popped off the show, I was done. I checked the dials and said, who's on? I'm like, oh, Graphk's on. So I hit you up in the comments, and this way you knew I was still awake. But again, if I can, I support you. And I will go on your show anytime because I can swear on your show.
Fuck, bitch, shit, fuck.
You forgot ass, but okay.
Ass, titties, all that. Hey, man, I love doing these shows. And you guys really taught me a lot. You guys taught me a lot today. I'm looking forward to future shows. I'm going to be honest. I'm looking forward to the Jack Tatum episode. Like, that's the one where I'm going to be like, I'm going to be glued to the screen because I used to listen to my dad when I was young, before he left, like when I was 4, young, listening to him talk about him. And I always heard that name, the assassin. And I want to hear some words from some guys that was actually there, visualized it, seen it for themselves. And, there's only so much I can do to go back and watch old film. I want to hear it from the people that were there. I
just wish we knew how to pull old film into this, because it'd be fun to kind of show.
I'll be able to do that once we push on StreamYard. I'll see what I can do to have it ginned up so we can hopefully have
nice.
So we'll talk about it. We'll get on the phone again also next week. You know how we do behind the scenes, just to talk and mingle and make sure we have everything set up for the following show. It's only going to get better, y'all. This was already great, but it's only going to get better. I appreciate you guys for allowing me to have this kind of knowledge put on my platform. And I'm looking forward to you guys taking this, intercepting this, and running with it and turning it into something else, man. I'm just
going Willie Brown this ass.
Old man Willie.
For real. Shout out to everybody that pulled up in the chat, man. Thank you to everyone that subscribed to my brothers. I appreciate you guys. Once again, another great night, another record to put in the books. You know what I'm saying? One more time, I appreciate you, brothers. I love you both. Thank you guys for being here. And we're going to catch you guys in another few weeks. Love y'all, nation. Have a good night. Wow.